As a result of the gruesome beating that took place last week on PZW TV, we have lost our insurance and have been banned from the PZW arena. But tonight, for the first time since the altercation, Derek Simonetti will speak his mind on what happened last week. Now, to update the PZW audience, apparently General Manager Tommy Corbin has found another building to house Project Zero Wrestling, but until then, without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Owen Cash, who is going to attempt to explain in detail what's been going on here as it pertains to Richy Sick's shocking betrayal last week. Owen?
Something smells fishy, and it's definitely not me. I am Owen Cash, and this is not a Money Minute. This is the Money Moment. Tonight I'm gonna do something a little different. Thanks to my incredible investigative reporting skills, I'm going to attempt to shed some light on the true nature of the quote-unquote master plan. But in order to do that, we need to go back to May Madness 7, where I believe the real plan was set into motion. May Madness 7, the master plan is revealed. Or was it? We were made to believe that Derek and Tommy are in cahoots, right? What about Richy and Tommy? Think about it. Tommy sent Richy to the hospital, but he conveniently shows up to foil Tommy and Derek's plan. How did he know when to show up? How do we know that Richy was hurt at all? By the end of the night, Richy Sick defeated Derek Simonetti to become the PZW champion. My question, was that the plan all along? During Richy Sick's U-Shoot interview, he was interrupted by Tommy Corbin, as the two proceeded to go back and forth about how much they hated each other. When all of a sudden, Stevie James comes out of nowhere to level Tommy Corbin. My question, how did Stevie know that Tommy was going to be there? After a phone call with Stevie himself, he told me that Richy asked him to be there during the interview. Then my question became, how did Richy know that Tommy was going to show up? Was that a coincidence? I think not. Richy Sick, quote-unquote, accidentally injures Stevie James in a Project Zero Wrestling title match. Or was it really an accident? This investigative reporter thinks that Richy was just trying to eliminate evidence of he and Tommy again using Stevie as a pawn in the master plan. Tommy Corbin wins the best of the best and becomes general manager. But who's the first to congratulate him? Richy Sick, of course. And Tommy acts very pissed. But was he pissed, or does he deserve an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor? Tommy Corbin and Richy Sick engage in a verbal altercation in front of Derek Simonetti. Derek witnesses Richy's willingness to die to stay champion. In this reporter's opinion, his focus seemed to be on Tommy Corbin, but really was directed towards pulling on the heartstrings of Derek Simonetti. The very next week, Tommy Corbin wrestles a match that can only be considered a warm-up against Biohazard. After defeating him, he shows how ruthless he can be in the ring. Is this done to continue planting ideas in Derek's head? I think so. Tommy Corbin leaves town on business, leaving Derek Simonetti in charge. Richy Sick begins to question Derek's motives and who he has become. Richy's question is, where has his friend for 20 years gone? Derek's response? Immediately scheduling a match between him and Richy Sick for the PZW title. Once again, Richy Sick defeats Derek Simonetti. Surprisingly, after the match, Richy Sick extends his hand to Derek Simonetti in a sign of respect. Although conflicted, Derek Simonetti ultimately chooses to shake Richy Sick's hand. It's at this point that I believe that the trap has officially been set. Derek Simonetti begins to question the plan. Tommy dismisses him and says he will win the title by any means necessary. This causes Derek Simonetti to snap and refuse to get involved in the match at all. Derek then seeks out Richy Sick to warn him of his impending doom. Richy continues to play mind games by questioning Derek's motives, but ultimately tells Derek he will heed his warning. In the final act of this modern-day tragedy, Richy attempts to shake Tommy Corbin's hand and is met with a hellacious assault by Tommy Corbin. Knowing full well that Derek wouldn't stand by and watch his little brother be attacked for no reason, Derek interjects in an attempt to stop the assault, but in doing so puts himself in the right place at the wrong time. At that moment, the true plan was revealed. The target was Derek Simonetti all along, and after an atrocious beating that left him beaten and bloodied, it was clear that Derek had lost everything and had been reduced to a shell of a man at the feet of the champ and the general manager. With all that being said, only one question remains unanswered. What is next for PZW? I am Owen Cash, and that has been the Money Moment.
After a short commercial break, we will come back with the uncensored thoughts of Derek Simonetti after last week's attack. But before we go to commercial break, amongst all this bad news, a little bit of good news from an old friend.
This is my time. I don't want you to take that glory away from me. Try my hardest, I'm gonna succeed. And I'm gonna get that world title. And I will become the Project Zero Wrestling Champion again.
15 minutes of PZW action not enough for you? Go to the new and improved PZW website, featuring the new profiles section with detailed biographies of each Project Zero superstar. In the videos section, relive your favorite PZW moments as well as exclusive video content. And in our picture section, rare, never-before-seen photos that you won't see anywhere else. And you can even become a fan on Facebook. All this and much, much more at www.pzwrestling.tk.
Tonight was probably the worst day of my life. I went out there to defend a friend, someone I had known for almost my entire life, my brother, and he did this to me. I've done a lot of bad things in my life to deserve the karmic response that I've received, but this was too much. He looked me in the eyes and he said that I'm not his brother anymore. I've had a lot of bad things happen, but I'm going to do something good for myself, for my family, my real family. As of this moment, geez, I never thought I'd have to say this. As of this moment, I hereby resign as assistant to the general manager. I hereby resign as second in command, and as far as PZW and PZW wrestling is concerned, I quit. That's it. I quit. I'm done. To anybody who really gave a shit, thank you. But this will be the last you see of me. I have to go find myself again. And I don't think PZW is going to be a part of my life anymore. Thank you.